And of course, I forgot to mark this one as public. Excellent. Well, I can get it started like this and then just mark it as public here. All right, let's see if this even worked right. Wow. This is just the biggest comedy of errors ever. A quick change for this here. Well, make all these mistakes now so that I can not do them later. How do you move the embed here? I don't really want the embed there. To attempt it again. Alright, so I was in the middle of adjusting my interface when OBS crashed on itself, and I didn't even notice for I don't know how long. So here I am, essentially, to recap, I'm taking the interface of Diablo 3, which mostly consists of these 4 buttons, number keys, and then the 2 mouse keys, and then a Q, and just borrowing that. Just going to go ahead and use 7 different things there, because I think that's pretty good. I'm in agreement that reaching much farther than over to the side than 4 is actually kind of a pain for the keys. Like, you don't want to reach all the way over to, like, 1 through 0. That's a lot of keys to reach. So I'm copying that, and I needed the current spell available for this is 7, right? So that's right, that's easy. Spell 7. I'm not going to introduce mouse buttons yet, though, even though eventually I do want them. I'm still going to have to make the menu system to select the various ones, but I don't even have enough abilities yet, so for now I'm just going to leave them as they are and continue changing it. But now I'm putting numbers below them, so this way they're able to know which key works for everything here. I'm not sure I'm going to have the little animations showing which one's active, though, I don't think, right? It was good for swapping between them, and it would be good for, like, art setup, but this one here is more of a Diablo clone. Whereas art really just has the 5 different types of paths that are following behind her, so you don't really need anything special beyond that. It makes me think that, art itself could also just use those 5 paths and color code them, and then you just have to match the color to destroy the enemy or to hurt the enemy. That'd make it really easy. But it might not be a bad idea, because, making your game have weird mechanics that are too complicated to understand in a short period of time means you got to make your mechanics slower. And art's about running away, so running away slowly is kind of lame. Do I move the menu up to the corner here? I mean, it could go up here, I guess. I wonder if that would look better. I don't know if it would. It'd be a lot closer to Diablo's look. The bottom is really busy. I don't think I do, for now. Moving that thing is much harder than you think, because then you got to move all the you have to tell it to display all the random things up in this area here, and it's done by math for how they end up down here. So, but what I might do is change the opacity, right? It might just be too bright. Because what I'm seeing with Diablo here is that, like, you can see it on there, but it's just kind of on top of it, and then the icons themselves are actually very bright. Let's see how that comes out. Well, talking to Lepus Nix in the RPGMaker Discord, the only guy who ever really talks to me there at this point. Like, it's just, there's basically no one who hangs out there. You know, is what it is. It's not like they actually try to push any kind of community there. There's no community leaders. It's pretty bad. I probably should just chat in one of the other ones, but hey, you know, whatever. Spawn back to that real quick. Yes, eventually I'll get good at this streaming thing. Oh, you know what would really help if I actually made it so that this thing was first of all, I need to rename this group to 7. But then I need to actually add it into the other group that has a bunch of conditions on it for it being displayed, because otherwise it'll display and during every scene. I don't want that. No. It's a little finicky, but you know, the fact that it's still better than the actual base engine says everything right there. It's a very good improvement. Let's see here. I should almost do tutorials in this too, and then I could just chop them up and put them into videos. That might actually be a thing that I do. Looking pretty good. Oh. Does the map look better that way? I think it might, actually. There's no longer a lot of lights, so it almost isn't even that necessary. I think I do like it better. Okay, so the change that needs to be made here is there's a restrictor on what the number can be. Basically just making it so that if it goes below a certain number, it instead sets it to 1. If it goes above a certain number, it instead sets it to 7, so it just loops around. All right. Didn't know that. It's very useful for helping me and telling me one day that my stream wasn't even working. It's like, oh, okay, well, your stream's not even working. I guess the mouse does work. It doesn't go as fast, though. If I don't have speed there, then I actually get mouse movement, which just kind of feels not terrible. But here's the thing, if you're just moving in a direction, you can move farther down, but otherwise, you really can't do that, because the mouse thingy won't go there. It doesn't pathfind below that very well. I guess it kind of does. Now it's just completely broken. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, it doesn't even work every time. I think it gets confused. Yeah, and then it gets stuck. That's not going to work. It could use the arrow keys to move around. Huh. I don't know. I built it for a controller in mind. There you go. I might make it more complicated to say if a spell is active, it goes over to there, but I don't know. It's kind of built for a controller in mind, so... Overall, the look of the game and the interface have gotten better, and that's often one of the biggest, most important things. Yeah, I do have the menu system from Art already put in, but I need to do some tweaking, which I probably should just do, like start making the interface good. Because it literally is just a rip-off of what Art was doing. But I think I want a Ouija board in the background for this kind of thing, because that seems a lot more, like if they're just doing little animations there. Oh, it actually has a little wind-up thingy. Haha, I didn't even notice I put that in there. That's adorable. Okay, well, I mean, I can make that happen. And I pushed all this to a plugin already. This one, yeah. Yeah, if you ever need to get the screen coordinates of something, it's just canvas to map X and canvas to map Y for the coordinates, and it'll give you the which X and Y it is from what point on the screen. Which, speaking of that, means I might have to make some changes to Hue Pathfind in order to make it where I can walk to places without it just breaking. I don't know. I definitely wish Crixus had not left the community. I don't know why he left, but oh my gosh, the stuff that he made in 2018 is better than the stuff we have now. Stupid. So stupid. So we're running event number status menu setup 1. Okay. That's not the setup. This is. So I was actually right on it. Just lost what I was doing for a second there. Okay, so I'm actually considering using just the Ouija board and having it just move around like that. I already have a Ouija board made, though, so it shouldn't be too tough. Where to put the Ouija board to dig it out real fast? Ouija board? I know I made one. I know I did. There we go. Size Ouija board here. It's very good. What is it called? A spirit board. Because the other one might be copyrighted or something. I don't know. So I made this. Oh, bring it over here. I have this one going. I almost don't know if it needs the lettering on there. Yeah, I could remove lettering. I don't know. I also kind of want to be able to see the screen below it. Huh. So the image it's replacing is this one. I can also just make a new thing too. Because I'm definitely not above doing that. With the exact same sizing so that it just looks good. Right about to there. I guess I can make it wider. It might be as much as a 10 or something. There, make it a 10. That looks reasonable. Why didn't I make it white? That was dumb. Oh, well, I can just do it this way. Hmm. Yeah, because I'm not going to have like a side thing. I don't need all the different... Do I not need all the menu things? I might just do a singular screen and not switch them. Um... Hmm. At least have the spirit board in there. I can shrink you to the right size too. You're in the right size in the first place. All that just gets removed from there. It was free anyway, whatever. Hmm. I wonder if this one's going to record, but I guess this is nice that I get to test both codecs since the NVIDIA one basically just breaks. That could make streaming not particularly a good plan. Let's try the AMD one. You know, I never realized AMD just kind of sucked for everything. But now I'm starting to see it. Anyway. I guess I'll just do an outer thing like that. Do this. Let's do it like 4 maybe. It gives kind of a nicer look to it. Actually, let's do this. Let's remove the SMX here. And then let's just paint it real fast to white. So I'm going to want to play with the coloring a bit. And we'll turn the FX back on. I mean, Papa Quest features basically blue And I actually just have it on here. It's a red and white, actually, which I might change that. Honestly, I don't like it terribly. It was just a thing that I had there until I had something better. Red's kind of fitting for Poppet Quest. It really is. Maybe soft light. Maybe move this out of the way so I can see. Soft light's never good. Hard light's probably pretty good. Or I could just be a savage liar here. It could look terrible. That's not too bad as far as that goes. Actually, wait a minute. Wait. Why am I making them like this? Well, first off, let's make a quick save of this just in case I decide to go back to it for some reason. Move my save to someplace where people can't see. Want to leak personal information. Okay, so actually, there's something I was going to do first while I was thinking about it, because I totally forgot and just got caught up in doing something else that I was finding amusing. Goldfish Brain is strong. Goldfish Brain dictates gameplay. Goldfish Brain dictates entire game. It's not good. I don't think the player could do that though, right? Because I have it set for if it's in combat, it's going to do a constant changing Y. Ironically, the particle is better set up for this. Huh. That is true. I didn't think about that. If combat is on, it's triggered to do a very specific type of animation, which will screw this up. I'm okay with it just being a singular particle. Incarnate's an amazing thing. Incarnate, any new yet? Oh. Look at these new textures they made. How cool. This thing's so worth it. You pay like 25 bucks a year and people just make this crazy crap like these things here, and it's just neat. It's just well worth it. Yeah. I guess I just want a square version of the mini-map, right? Sorry, rectangular version of the mini-map. Nope, not that one. That is not the map I opened, Incarnate. I opened the Poppet Quest mini-map. Or at least that's what I clicked. There we go, this. Actually, don't do new window from region. I have an option for that? Nice. I thought there was a way to increase the size a bit, but I don't see that option. I guess I could just make a new one outright. Fair enough. Keep all my extra maps hidden. Yes. Cannot know my secrets. Actually, you just kind of can because I'm streaming them, but not all my secrets. Haha. Right. Okay, so the first thing we always do here is we take... we'll take this here. We pick the ugliest color that nobody would ever use. And we put that as this background. So this way, when I go to remove it with an art program later, I just get to remove that garbage, and it looks just horrible. So it's perfect. It's easy to spot that it just looks like trash. And then I did Gothic Horror for this. And then let's expand, I guess all stamp sets is that. Must have been these ones here. Oh yeah, it was fencing. Ironically, it was all fences. I kind of want it to be more like vertical setup here, I guess. No shadow. And then that's what I want. Actually, let's just make it 90 outright. I might just cut it off, honestly. I forgot, at least it's selected until you click another one. I wonder if this is rectangular enough or not. I could just chop it off. It's easy to do. You can move it over a little bit, I guess. Let's migrate it down one so it's behind these, and same thing with you. Actually, I guess I can move it a little bit like this. All right, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to add this area here as foreground. And then this one was a Gothic Horror texture anyway. Was it? That does not look true. Was it obsidian I used? It might be. On the foreground, we're just going to add this. I may get that and just test it and see if it actually works the way it's supposed to or not. Like if it's the right size or not. I almost don't want the obsidian though. Right? It seems like a really long effort to go through here for what I'm doing here. Let me just I kind of need to figure out what I'm going to do with the menu first. I need to think about the right size, and then I'll just chop things off, make it look nice and neat. Hmm. 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 Oh, so that's one way to get that to view in there. Now I can actually see the stream in um, um, in the browser. I think the new plan is to keep it simple, because here I'm making all this crazy stuff here, and I'm not even sure what I really want for that. So I think what I'm actually going to do is just not load the status menu picture. And then I'm using a pointer. I just need something that acts kind of like a cursor. So what will make a good cursor out of the pictures that I already have? Huh. Sort of design decisions are often just me sitting here trying to figure out exactly what would be a good thing for everything. It just takes forever. Sometimes I make things, but I have to have an idea of actually what I want to make, otherwise it's not particularly handy. I think the particle's the best bet. I guess I can just stay what it is for now. Well, it could just be the same image it uses for her ghost trail behind her. It's more fitting than the weird comet particle, which is clearly not even remotely related to this, so let's do this one. We'll go with the keep it simple, stupid plan here. Because, yeah. The goal is to get this done, not to embellish it on things that just aren't even going to matter. Even though I just wasted time on plenty of things tonight that didn't matter, and broke the stream twice. Hey, you know, whatever. At least I realized eventually. Yeah, that's it, eventually. Nice. But streaming time just passes so quickly. I just like streaming. So even if nobody watches, it just doesn't matter. It just really helps me talk out ideas and figure out what should and shouldn't be. Are those loaded eventually? I definitely think there needs to be some kind of a border around this. Like, it does need to be there. These, however, can get moved down to somewhere along the bottom here. Even though I don't know how to make this... Oh, that's right. There's like a bent error issue. Hmm. I feel like I should program more abilities before I worry about making a cool menu. I think for now we're going to go with the status menu thing here that I just previously had. Only as a border to get an idea of what can and what needs to be done here. But we can make a real quick get it done sort of affair here. Or try to. Question mark? Oh, anyway, you have to have the brush like that. I'm just dumb. And then these are going to be a little smaller. Separate one here. And I guess we can just do... just always do them in white, because I can always add effects in post here. Put this layer behind here. It'll all make sense in a second. Doesn't gotta be perfect. It needs to almost be a little wild intentionally. Alright, well first we'll use stroke on them. Looking good, looking good. Am I gradienting this? I could gradient it. That's actually probably fine. I really want there to be a view of it being evil in the background. Symbols. Outer border. Rectangle. Alright. Let's do a quick save. And we're just gonna save it right on over the previous one. Okay, then we go back into here. Just put it right back in. Then let's look at these events that I had previously made for this, of which there were plenty of them. Yes, the saves, those things aren't there. I guess the question is, where do I even want them? Or maybe I don't want them at all. What displays the area name? I know I have it written somewhere. Because I can make this so it actually just gets the actual area name. Actually, game type is in there. Where does it set this information? Game variables dot value 224. Actually, it's already a thing, so I don't need to worry about it. So that will keep, but I think I'm just going to remove the other ones and just, you know, keep it simple, stupid, and all that. Embellish a bit, but 96 is the one I need to create. 96 is, in fact, this one. Okay, perfect. So let's remove all the others. But literally just says afterwards. I'm just stupid. wonder if the pixel movement thingy for the mouse would work better if I actually set it on true pixel movement or not. Okay, well, for some reason it did not load the right one. Just got that right. I need to give things better names than they have, though. That's true. But for now, it's fine. Should be status menu, right? Oh. The problem was I saved it as a JPEG and not a PNG. Smart. Maybe the smartest of anyone who ever smarted. Perfect. Nice, a bright my stream. That's awesome. YouTube's on my side. All the money I paid them off with. I mean, nothing. It's totally fine. Yeah. I didn't do anything. Yeah. Okay, now that I've recovered from my previously stupid error of just saving things as a JPEG. Why in the world can't RPGMaker use JPEGs? I mean, I know why it can't, because Pixie doesn't use JPEGs, so this isn't actually RM's fault, but I really want them to. It does give you a border. This is not too bad. I mean, it's going to have to be much better. I'm obviously going to retitle this to look a little better. I actually probably just want an image. Also, this stuff still sits on top of it, so I would probably need to hide it if I bring the menu open. I mean, do I need to hide it? Probably. So we bring this over here. I think I at least hide the spells that the menu is open. So display conditions here. Checking a switch. Status menu operates off of... Oh, it flips the switch in here. Of course it does. I just had to make it, simpler by making a whole plugin to do it instead of actually doing it just in RPGMaker. I mean, you can do things in there. You don't have to do everything in a plugin. But listen, I could make it so much more complicated if I do it in a plugin. It's just so much better. Yeah. Oh, that just checks for combat status menu on, so I'm looking for variable 8 here. Bring up my HUD thingy here. Actually, I should have off. God, Ultra HUD Maker is so good. If only the base engine had it. It'd be so much better. I guess the mini-map doesn't need to exist in this either. I guess that begs the question of why aren't they just all in a group by themselves so that I don't have to continuously set variables for all of them. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so we save that. Oh, it looks like it already does it anyway. Wow. I might not even need to reload there. It's weird. Usually RPG Maker seems to keep copies of the files in memory, so this way, even if you make a change to a plugin, it doesn't even reflect until you reload the whole program. But apparently HUDmaker doesn't work like that. HUDmaker's like, nope, it's just updated immediately. I need to learn whatever he did. Just emulate it. Yeah, it's just good to go. I kind of want to put the character's entire, just redo how this entire health bar system is. It just sounds like a lot of extra work right now that for something that I'm not sure what I'm trying to actually end up with. Alright, so we're going to move the attic thingy over here. I'll worry about naming them specific things later. I don't know. That's right. I almost want to hide all these because the HUDmaker operates in the picture layer, and so it'll always be above the particles that are in the tile map layer. So I always end up behind it if I do that. So that's why I didn't do that. All right. Well, I guess it's time to get fancy then instead. Okay, well, let's just turn that off then. I don't want to have the player lose themselves behind something. That would be weird. Turning off the stats if the menu is on. Sounds counterintuitive, but hey, okay, whatever. And that just updates like that. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. So convenient. Just leave this open and just manually adjust the entire interface and just see the immediate effect without having to load the game. Okay. I have a picture of Poppet to load up as well. Ah, yes. So it's going to be a real pain trying to figure out exactly where this goes. Well, actually, this thing here is in the bottom right corner. So if I just adjust the X to the other side, probably get the job done, or close enough. So we'll put it at like X200 probably. That seems reasonable. And then add the text for the name. Weirdly in the engine itself. Wait, do I? No. I distinctly remember changing it in here, so I must have did it somewhere. Status menu. All right, here. Oh wait, no, it's not there. There's an event for it. That's right. I dropped the event down in the right location. So I can be all tricky and have it do whatever I want. But with this string literal here, I can write the word location in front of this instead of just having to manually do it every time. And just make certain to have the other tilde right here. All right. Oh, it's already raining. Part of me wonders if I should just make use of the actual built-in menu system, but that wouldn't be any fun. I can't just toss the menu up over the whole screen if I do that. Gotta go for style points for reasons I don't know. In theory, I could use this for art as well, so I can just kind of cheat for the next game. So it's probably worth the effort to make it look nice in this one. Maybe? What are we doing? Okay, well, she's on the screen anyway. Kind of a little low, but she's on the screen. Guess I probably wouldn't. Well, actually, I don't really mind it spawning there, or saying it there. All right, so we got to move her up. We'll try 200 and see if that works out better. The only downside of doing this is you have to basically guess where things are going to go. This archaic world where you just gotta, visually estimate the number it's going to be at and then load it all up and maybe it works. This is not something you have to do in UE. This is mostly a JavaScript thing. And RM, I guess. Though technically you can do it in JavaScript for that matter, so because RPGMaker does it, so. There we go. She's standing on there and everything. Probably farther over to the side. Probably on the right side, actually, right? But she doesn't have any lights on her, so I'm going to have to actually spawn lights near her, too. Because the menu system isn't lit, so I have to actually drop a bunch of lighting events on where it's going to be at so that it lights it up. And then despawn them all so the player doesn't get to see a bunch of stuff they shouldn't. Though I guess to be fair, they'll still see things they shouldn't. But really, if they want to travel a small distance, open the menu just to look around, then do it over and over and over, I mean, more power to them. That's just... that sounds awful. Go ahead. You win this day, player. Sounds like a speedrunner tactic. Terrible. No, thank you. Also need to change the font color. So I'm using the font from art instead. Did I even make a font for Poppy Quest? I probably need to. Or at least a pixie font for it. Yeah, move it over the side. That means I need to calculate where the lights are going to be if I do that. I actually should probably just drop lights in the entire menu, so it just all looks split up around the central portion of it, but not the outer area. And then restrict it so that if the player tries to go outside of the line, it will push them back in so they can't actually escape the line. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I gotta remember to clear that image too. Alright, well. Glad I closed the menu to test that out. So menu 0, I think, is the clear. Yeah, menu off here. Also don't know if I need a level exit in there, because I originally had it in Poppet quest, but now there's actually a character you could run to and talk to escape the level. I'm not sure I want to give the player the ability to just exit the level at any given time. That's not any fun. That's like having a built-in town portal. Of course, they can't really get back into the area, so they have to redo it all again. So it's not really a town portal. It's kind of like the world's worst town portal. It's free, but it's like a monkey's paw. It comes with some real drawbacks. You probably don't want the wish this is about to grant you, but here you go. Alright, so I remember to move that. Now she's got to go way over to the other side. The bottom corner is 883 or what? It's actually 900, but 883 is pretty close. I guess I'm going to want her closer to like 700? 70,000. That's going to be pretty far off. Where's my area for lights? I already have a bunch of lights in there. And they're already all kind of in a line. Because, let's see, 250. There's also 250. Huh. I guess I'm doing both X's at the same time, so... Yeah, okay, so it's like when... Those are like the... Not even the dead center of the screen. That's like 850 is... Well, I guess 1080 is the actual thing there. No, this is map X, so this is 1920, so this is like dead center. I guess I did red lights at the sides? This doesn't seem like anywhere near enough lights. I guess art was a much brighter looking game, so... How big are these lights? 135. I'm just gonna cheat. I'm gonna make these lights huge. We'll do like 1,000 as opposed to 300. That should just light the whole thing up, no problem. It might not look as good, but sitting here and spending the next 15 minutes trying to drop lights in exactly the right location to make the perfect menu does not sound like something I want to do with my time. I mean, it's something I could do with my time, but so was that whole making an entire new area that I almost did earlier and then came to my senses. Okay, well that lights it up a lot. Probably too much, actually. But it was quite simple. It did work. And she did not end up anywhere near where I wanted her to be. Did she at least go away when done? Yep. Huh. Yeah, I gotta change this little portal mirror image to something else. Assuming I want them to be able to exit it all like that. But I think I'll leave it in for now, and I'll just change the graphic to something that is more fitting. So that takes no time, but did I just pick the wrong... I probably moved Poppet's Y coordinate instead of her X coordinate, because I do that sometimes. Oh, yeah, oh my gosh, I was intending to move her X coordinate in the first place. I swear, the number of times that I mix the two up and just move the wrong one is... It's a pretty common occurrence. I do it at least a couple times a night, I'm sure. It wouldn't be so difficult if it was visual, but since I'm just remembering, it's less good. Okay, so I want a new portal mirror thing. I could make a photo. I got a little pinned photo I could use. make something in DAZ that looks really cool. That seems kind of like not necessarily what I want to do right now. But it wouldn't be the worst choice either. I'll use this crystal ball thing. That'll work. I want to make this game look as visually different from art as possible so people don't realize I'm just straight stealing the code out of one for the other. Well, I guess the base code. Lots of specific variables and everything can't be moved over, but a lot of it can. Alright, I think I'm going to reduce the light size to a little bit less than that. I admit, think lights with a 1,000 pixel radius might be a little bit too big. Just a little. Especially with there being like 8 of them there. I was actually going to use this track in a scene from art, but well, actually I've made the whole landscape for the scene in UE, and I'm not sure I'm going to do it in UE anymore. Maybe. Well, she's the right height this time. She's just too far over to the side. Oh gosh, if it was UE, you just pick her up and just drag the image right over. It would just be like, done. Some things are much easier in UE. This would be one of them. Other things, not so much. Model work, animating all that. Oh, so time consuming. But moving a graphic over in the menus, the work of mere seconds. Adjust it back over here a bit. Also got to move the crystal ball up. She's standing on the crystal ball. That's kind of cool. Unintentional, but well, if I moved her higher up, I could put the crystal ball higher up, and she could be standing on it, and that could be the exit. I don't know about that. That seems a little weird. A little unnecessary. But that graphic is larger, so it does need to be moved up. Move it up to a Y of 700 and an X of, I guess, 1600. It's not as big as the Poppet image, so maybe it'll be fine. Again, pretty much just got to guess. So this and the colliders are pretty much the biggest problems I have with RPGMaker. I don't get to see any of them in advance. I just got to sit there and keep guessing over and over and over, and just taking screenshots and adjusting it as archaic as it comes. But it's not RPGMaker's fault because I'm using Q movement, which isn't actually theirs, so okay. I like all the things that keep animating themselves over and over when they're on the when the menu's open, but they don't do any of their attacks. I'm not sure how the code worked out like that, because it's supposed to lock everything down, but I guess it doesn't. Must be something I just missed somewhere. If I want to keep the crystal ball to exit, that should actually probably just be an event that spawns. It's just the crystal ball event, right? Hmm. I guess it doesn't need to be. Kind of want to keep that feature in purely for purposes of testing, because I accidentally know the wrong level all the time. I think I'd be pretty far down this. I think the crystal ball needs to be farther down and over. But then it covers Poppet, so that's also a problem. So we'll move this to 750 and maybe 1500. Do I just put her back on the other side of the screen? Maybe. If that's the case, then I guess I can put the title near the top. Canvas to map X. So I guess it does kind of center on the title. Can I get away with just to 1920? So it'd be 960. I get the feeling that's going to be off center by some amount, but maybe not. Because after all, my text plugin is just spawning text based on the event. But of course, everything's actually like a grid of 48 by 48, so canvas to map X and Y comes up with an approximate, whichever is close to it rounds, so it's pretty hard to have everything be exactly perfect. I might just want to spawn text at the center of the screen. In fact, I'm actually pretty certain that's what I want to do. Yeah, the crystal ball's in a slightly better location. Also, these houses don't remove themselves from the thing. Apparently. When the menu opens. Originally, I was using crystal balls in mini map, but I couldn't make it circular. I haven't quite figured out the math for how to do that yet. Why in the world did that put the text there and not in the correct location? Because chapter title is spawning there. Actually, let me check that event, because I might have just written to just spawn the put the text command, and then the text command there would be completely just ignore where the event was. It wouldn't even care. Where is status menu? Yeah, I don't even know why I'm using this event. That's just ridiculous. I guess I could put lights and particles around it, but That seems like a lot of unnecessary at this point. So we just do that. It could actually just be over on the right side anyway. Or better yet, below the crystal ball, right? Because that tells you where it's at. And that kind of fits where the mini-map is, and just kind of everything seems very location-centric for that corner. It's not a bad idea. Huh. We'll try this. One less event to worry about its location. Because originally I was getting really crazy with it and having the like various menu things jump around and have particles all over them and everything, and just a lot of extra embellishment that just seemed wholly unnecessary when people mostly just wanted to use a quick menu to get the job done. The menu shouldn't be neater than the game. Or maybe it should. Maybe if your game's just all menus. Doesn't sound particularly interesting, but I mean, if Cookie Clicker can be interesting, a menu game can be interesting. Okay, so that means the pop-up probably go over the farther to the side there. I'm okay with the location being down in that corner. And I need to code the destroyables in so that they have a thing to remove them from the mini-map. All things that need to happen. We'll pull the minis open. Alright. Put her X at 100. This one needs to go both down and over to the right. It's probably because they're anchored in the upper left, so I'm thinking they're anchored. But they're centered, but they're just not. It's just anchor 0, 0 instead of anchor 0.5, 0.5. I don't think I actually added that feature into my text plugin in the first place. I think I need to add that soon. Whatever. Can it really go 100? Well, I mean, technically, the screen is 1080 tall. I could also bottom center the location. That's actually not a bad idea either. There's a lot of real estate that I'm not exactly using on this. I really want to restrict it to them only moving in here too, so I need to actually include a thing to bounce the player back if they get outside of the red line. I mean, technically I could just spawn blocks, but there's a way to mathematically do it that's just better, I think. I mean, I already set it up once, so clearly it probably already exists. Huh. Yeah, I think I'll do a quick restrictor on that. Yeah. Nah, for now I'll leave that. I'm not going to restrict where they can go yet. Well, I might change the menu and have to change it all back again, so yeah. Today pretty much is just interface day, I think is what it is. So I figured out another ability I want to make for her to have. And I don't know when that's going to be, because I think I need to actually just pull up a Diablo game and research, a sorcerer character and see just what they got. Actually, I kind of like where it's at. It might be move it a little farther down for the location, but I guess the other option is just upper left corner, just all the way up there too. I kind of want to put the player's information up there. Do I? Huh. I think I'll move this farther down. See how? Oh, I guess I can't full screen it because it goes off the stream. A little adjusting here because things are a little bit off the screen here. So it goes to about over here. Yeah. I'm looking at that. I literally have OBS up that could just show me where the screen is in real time. Whereas YouTube's got a crappy one interface in the background that just, it updates just so slow. When I can get it to display at all, it's just the actual worst thing ever. Okay, so it's about there. Yeah, so probably farther down there. It would be a lot easier if it did just do the HP for me and I just put it along the top, but lock the player out of going up there so they can't go behind it, which means then I could just cheat and use RPGMaker to do all of that. Also need to make an ability upgrade, but I'm not going to make upgrades for that quite yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to move that down. Then I need to expand the area that exits this thing, so maybe even give a visual cue. If they're within range, I'll spawn a message saying that, you know, hey, you want to exit? If they get too far away, it'll go away. Maybe I'll even play the animation that just like the other portals in the regular world. Right. Yeah, farther down. So probably like 2020 probably. And then I'm pretty happy with how far it is over to the side. I think pop it's in an okay location. Assuming I leave her there at all, I don't know. I was considering having all of her stats displayed up there. I guess it's not that hard to display her stats. Like right here, I could just literally do it. It would probably look a little nicer because it would be lit by everything since everything's in the tile map level as opposed to the other one, which is in the picture area, so it would ignore all the lighting. So it wouldn't really look at what is in the world so much. Plus, I like the idea of the player as a cursor, so it can be all pixel perfect. That's just more exciting. And then I could have common events that trigger if you're within a certain range of a button that appears on here, and that button will just be a graphic. The other option is to spawn events, but the problem with that is that the canvas to map X means that they're going, and canvas to map Y means that they're not always going to be in the exact right location, so it won't always look perfect. But the upside is you get all the interaction of an event, including a collider, which if I don't do that, I have to use distance calculations, which I guess is fine. I don't have to make interface graphics for each ability. Also, if I want to have the text appear as like a little dialogue box off of it, like the event's talking or something along the lines like that, it would have to be an event. Otherwise, it would just be text that appears in the bottom of the screen, letting you pick options, which is fine, I guess, but it doesn't seem that great. I'll think about that. I think I'm just going to make it functional for what it needs to do right now and worry about an upgrade system when I have all the abilities made that I'm going to want to upgrade. Okay, so... Because right now, in order to do it, what I'm using is this setup here, where it's just checking the distance between the game player's screen X and screen Y versus the versus the location of the crystal ball, so they can trigger an exit event. See if I can get this a little more accurate to the crystal ball. Actually, no, let's just make it a larger distance rather than move the center of it. This is the bottom corner. I'm not going to put any other events down there. The upside of doing it with events is once I know where the event goes, then everything will be set up around the event. But if I do it based entirely upon pictures that are drawn on there, I'm going to have to sit there and constantly test the various hit detection things to see if they're good enough. That doesn't sound exciting at all. I'm relatively happy with that location. And I'm very happy with the exit event, I think. Am I? Pretty happy. I guess the other upper left would be pretty good. Just have all the information in these outer areas that no one has to worry about it. It's just all right there. I do kind of like that idea. Yeah. I guess I won't worry about it right now. But I've already got all that information available, so I could just simply copy paste it from one thing to the next in RPGMaker. So let's see, plus menu here. Actually, copy HUD, paste HUD. Status menu. Let's see here. Take the player stats, drag them right up here. And we just delete everything else. Apparently, if it's grouped there, you can't move it any farther up. Apparently I can. And then make the status menu is on, though I'm just going to load this menu anyway. All right, so save this, and then set current HUD to status menu. Everyone should have this program. It's just so good. It just does all the menu work for you, all the interface work for you. This was a track I was originally going to use in a version of art until I took that fight out, so I'm not sure it's going to make the cut. Okay, well that did not work. In fact, I actually ruined the other menu in the process. Nice. That's strange. I don't know why I would ruin that. Hmm. Might have been a command I copied, or a condition I copied when I copied the other one over. There was like 3 different conditions on it. One of them was if character info was being told to be put up, but I think I turned that off for the menu thing. I don't know. Hmm. And that time it works. But now this one doesn't work at all. But now this one works. What kind of horrible code did I use for this for? Oh my gosh. I did copy this straight out of art, and a long time ago is when I actually made this menu thing. And I just never worked on it, so it's kind of got a lot of dumb things in it. Okay, so... Oh, never mind. This is done in reverse. I'm stupid. That's the problem. I have to remember it's... If it's on, then it flips it off. So these are all the things that it's supposed to do if you're turning it off. All right. This would never happen if I ever commented my code, but let's be real here, I never do that. It's just not happening. By not happening, I mean I don't comment RPGMaker's code, which is the issue. I guess, you know, this one doesn't have to be that one. I didn't change the lighting for nails. I need to do that. Change all the. So I changed all the lighting to black now instead of the bluish tint. Yep, it appears right there, no problem. And then it goes away, and it no longer removes the location thing because I forgot to put that in. That's good to know. Also, map HUD does not work. But this one works, so that's a start. But why? That's easy because it's called map HUD, not menu HUD. Well, I was half right. I got the HUD part right. And then... oh. I need a command to delete that. It's the problem with writing so many plugins. I actually forget the commands for my own plugins. Because there's just so many, I'm going to have to look it up. It's just how it is. So since I added this, apparently did not copy paste it. Oh, that's right, because I copied the command line from RM and not the actual text. So it's not like Visual Studio Code understands a RM command. It's not a copy pasted one. I need the exact name of what I'm removing. So this right here. I guess I could have just set that as a variable at the very top, and then I wouldn't have to keep typing in multiple locations. It might actually be what I do in the future. Should never have to redo any code at any point. So if you have to redo code, clearly there's a better way. But this was made a long time ago, back when I didn't really know that. Which wasn't as savvy as I am now. Still not back. Why is that? This is where we cheat. We get an old version of the game and just copy paste the command right out of it. No problem. By old version, I mean yesterday's version. Must be mistyping something. What? But that's not the name of the HUD at all. Why is that the name that works? It should be this. What in the world? I'm sure there's some reason why. But I'm glad I looked, because I was never going to get this. There was never any world where I was going to guess that. Because it's not even a name of HUDs that appears on there. But okay, whatever. It's fine. It's all good. I'm not going to attempt to understand my past stupidity. I mean, genius. I meant genius, totally. Yeah. So that's still working. Can't wait to actually go look back through this particular stream and see how the AMD codec is handling things, because it doesn't look like it's dropping frames like it was last time. Actually, it was the processor that was dropping frames to try to be a graphics card. Once again, it does not actually work. So... huh. Why in the world would it not work? This is definitely the right one because it sets the camera focus to the player. The status menu is on. It must be a condition that I'm just leaving off on here or something. This is an unchangeable HUD, so I'm wondering if I should, if it's got some weird rules around that I just don't know. Call this combat HUD. Because it's entirely possible that that's a thing that just... It was programmed really weird. I've looked over the code before. It's very in-depth. There's thousands and thousands of lines of code. I won't even pretend to have a very good working understanding of all that happens in it. It's a lot. And, yeah, I would prefer to not have to sit there and figure it all out. Combat HUD, the exact name, right? You are saved, good. Unless there's something wrong with the plugin command itself, but I hope that's not the case. He provides exactly zero support for it, even those people who paid him money. And it's like $40 for the plugin, so it's not like it's a cheap plugin either. If you want the pro version, you got to be willing to shell out some real money. And nope, still no help. There we go. Yeah, there's just something weird about the default HUD that you're not allowed to change, because it works perfect. For once, it wasn't user error. Yeah, I would have lost that bet. Pretty much every time. Okay, well, now that I know that's there, there's no need to have the picture there, but I can just have her various status bars above it. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Nope. This one, please. There's the group icon to move that one. Oh, I have a better idea. Okay, when I did this, I didn't think about that I would need to But the little boxes would be way off the screen. Oh, that's horrible. I guess the other option is you put them along the bottom as well. Well, it'll make it way easier to put them all on the bottom. So right now we're putting them all on the bottom until I know exactly what I want. Oops. I just want a functioning menu because I'm sure I'm going to need a bunch of things that I'm not even thinking about right now. Also, there is exactly zero reason to have a picture of her because there's a giant picture of her. Does there need to be a giant picture of her? I think I'll just deal with those later. Not sure how necessary all these are going to be, but for now they're what I got, so we're going with them. See, now if only I could just do this with my own plugin in there, but he literally wrote an entire separate program outside of RPGMaker to do this, so the program he made just in like a month or two is better at editing things visually than RPGMaker. Wow. You know it's bad when one guy does a better job than a whole company. That reminds me, I gotta change the lighting on all the levels. I definitely like the just darkness better. There we go. Now I just need to restrict the player from being able to go down to those. Because the player can still exit by going to this corner, which is all that really matters. I'm still not sure how I'm going to base upgrades. I mean, am I doing experience? Because that doesn't seem that great. After all, the enemies are limitless, so I guess it would give the player a reason to just grind like crazy. I'd almost rather base it on drops or something. I guess it's not terribly different. Except for I think it's a lot more fun to collect things than it is to just get random numbers of experience. And the game kind of is about running around and collecting things and just, you know, murdering stuff that gets in the way. It's actually a strong argument for using HUDmaker to do the location name and putting it right up here instead. If I'm going to lock the player out of those areas. Let's get to locking the player out of the areas. So status menu hit detection. I'm going to copy this event because I might want these numbers again later, just in case I decide to switch it back or something. I have to put asterisks here so I know that it's an event that I'm not particularly using, but I've just kept for reference. I guess I only need to change the actual numbers here. So if game player X is greater than 920, 960 there. So what if I just add 100? Like an extra 80 around the outside there, and then added 80 to that one. So this is if it's less than canvas amount 540. So this is actually at the top of the map. So I guess I'm adding to that too, right? I think so, yeah. I guess I had 70 to that. So I was adding 80 and it was a negative 10. I probably have these backwards, knowing me, it happens a lot. Gameplay Y is greater than this number here. Am I doing it backwards? So canvas to map Y. Why did I pick 540 for canvas to map Y? Huh. Well, let's experiment. If I have it backwards, you're about to get a good chuckle out of it. That's about it. It'll be like the 4th time tonight where I completely mix the directions up. Does it not work in that area? Maybe. I might have just completely borked it. I totally did. Nice. Good job, me. This is why I copied the event there, so I can fix it by not doing what I just did. So, canvas to map 960 puts it. Wait a minute. I think I'm missing something on this one here. So canvas map 960 puts it not incredibly far from the center of the screen, because the actual map is... Wait, that is the center of the screen. Oh, I see. I'm using canvas to map X and canvas to map Y, which means that it's getting the tile of the center of the screen. And I'm reversing it with gameplay. So when I say minus 20, I mean minus 20 tiles. Here I was like, oh, I'll just add 80. Shit. Too much time spent working with pixels for the last hour or two. It just has my brain thinking entirely in pixels. I mean, Q movement introduces the game player PX and PY for the pixel location, and I could technically just use the center of the screen. That sounds like extra effort right now. We'll go with what works. So if it's less than minus 20 squares, so I think I'm just going to add like a add TD. It should just reduce the numbers by 2 basically. And that adds 96 to each side, which should be good enough. I actually do this for the entire map too, because in the ghost mode you have through on, so you can technically just leave the map. It'll eventually kick you back to the map when you run out this. I guess you can only go about a second or two off of the map, so it's not that bad, but I should probably have some kind of restriction so you can't do that. Alright, look, bounces. Boing, boing. Look, I've made ping pong in RPGMaker. Bet you never thought you'd see someone make ping pong in RPGMaker. Like, boop. 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 And I just need little scores up here. Also, this one goes a little too far over. I actually got really close to the line there. Actually, this goes a little farther over too, or you can kind of run past it, it looked like there. Good idea. Now, somehow I managed to run past it. It doesn't really matter if you go a little past it, because it'll just kick you back. But yeah, right here, it lets you go a little bit past. Sometimes. Alright, so... yeah, just that last one there needs to go about one over. I really could make an entire game just with this. Like, just build it on top of the screen. This is my no map challenge. You could actually just build infinite maps on top of there by just constantly drawing things on the screen over and over. Just mapception it. It might be a funny thing to do once just to mess with, but I have enough projects, I don't need another one. Alright, so game player X is less than... I think this is actually the offending culprit. So minus 17. I can just go right here and do it. Bounce, bounce. Nice. Close enough. I am at location 0. I should probably name those, but whatever. Also, I should probably shut off the portals that the menu's on. That's something that needs to happen as well. I almost feel like this one goes not far enough down. Huh. This might be where I need to switch to pixels, because measuring in increments of 48 isn't exactly the best way to do things on a screen. So this is the greater than Y, I think. I forgot to shut the portal off. I've also forgotten to shut the lights off and all the, or change the lights in all the levels too. I think that feels a little bit better. I also need to remove the restrictor so that the status menu shows up even when not in combat. Alright. I assume I'll want them to go into the status menu even when they're in just the story areas. Or at least have the option. Alright, so... conditions. Just remove that. And then I shut the lights off in those areas too. So let's get our light values here. Okay. Don't even going to use that, but okay. There's a console log I forgot about from a million years ago. Alright, and then also for the portals, I need to set those off if status menu is on. So let's see, conditional branch. Status menu is 8, so status menu is off. Do that. Actually, I'm going to copy paste this. So oh wait, I can't do that. Actually, no, I can. Okay, this should fix all the problems I was talking about. I might block out the menu on the title screen. Probably will. And the portal does not open. Excellent. Plus the menus are all here. And all the character stats are there. Yeah, I think I might move the location up into the other corner there and just run it in the in HUDmaker. I don't have to make a new Pixie font that matches, so I'll probably make one anyway for other stuff. That's reasonable. All right, so the code for that. It's right here. Status menu here. We're going to add a new component. Text is fine. Location. Center is fine. Display conditions don't matter. The text will be code. Run that code. Make that the information that it shows in its place. Use this font here. I think centering is fine. We put it under player stats, so it only shows up if player stats are active. Sure, and then I don't need this version of the thing. That was the old backup. And I just remove this thing here because it's unnecessary. Actually, I had a bunch of stats already figured out if I was going to do that, but Well, maybe I'll worry about that later. Seems like a kind of unnecessary, what with it just being already available in RPGMaker. Double check that I turned the lights off in this area. Pretty sure I did every single one of them. Yep. That menu set up, and then, yep, location's good like that. This is no longer covered. Oh, that's right. The destroyable objects don't remove themselves from the status menu. Or not, sorry, from the mini-map. They don't remove their little image. So I gotta fix that. I also want to change the coloring on the location to be not terrible. Oh, for a second there, I thought there was a little keyhole in the corner, but it's actually just a light bulb that is positioned exactly right to be on top of the red bar here, making it look like it's a little keyhole up there. Now I kind of want a little keyhole somewhere. That'd actually be pretty fitting. I mean, just trying to escape the attic and all that, then the game being all about keys and things like that would make a lot more sense. Yeah, I think I need to recolor that. So let's fix those two things now. But whenever I figure out what information I want on here, it's going to be pretty good, because everything will be ready to go, but I don't quite know all the information I want yet. Poppet Quest tends to favor red, white, and black as its colors, so there's no option to do a cool grid on it, it looks like. You can animate it. You can actually make it where all the things just kind of, you know, moving onto the screen and everything like that with all kinds of cool effects and stuff in this. So I don't use it very often, but it's not the worst. I can play with the opacity so it's more ghostly, which I think is kind of cool. Never quite entirely opaque and never quite not. You kind of will keep in the theme of the place, or the theme of the game. I was thinking I might need to move over the side a little bit too. And I was going to fix the events so that they vanished when they were done. Okay, so enemy 5 does it. Does it? Event lockdown. Well, those are the map blocks. Of course, they remove themselves. And do the enemies remove themselves? I should probably check that. It might be a fault in everything. I did restructure the entire code to work off just 5 common events that all call plugins, so I don't have to make it different common events for every type of thing. It's just all the enemies, destroyables, and items, and everything just runs through the same thing. It's very efficient. But I kind of forgot some things when I did it, so there might be a couple mistakes. It's pretty much like that house where you look at it and then the door falls off and you're like, this is fine. Close enough. What am I stuck on? That's weird. So I got stuck on nothing, making me wonder if what I got stuck on has... Yeah, right there, I'm stuck. Interesting. Huh. It's weird. Let's find an enemy and then open the menu. No, it's just the destroyables. It looks like I don't see the enemy anywhere on there. Yeah, it's right there, and now it's gone. Okay, so it's just the destroyables. Huh. Okay. Inconvenient. Inconvenient. Um. Hmm. Wait, what's the code it calls on? So it calls. Um. So what is enemy 6 and just lockdown? That's all. Okay. What's the lockdown event exactly? Number 12. Oh, I actually took everything out of that, so it literally does nothing. Nice. And then just initiate a wait, so it's a completely worthless event at this point. And enemy 5 just switches their self-C off. I think there was a reason I did that back in the day, and it's not a very good reason. I mean, I think the map blocks are different. Huh. Okay, so the animation thingies for the enemies are handled by my animation plugin, and I think it just has a setup in there for if the status menu is on. And the map blocks are actually handled by something completely different. One of the few things that actually are, so I think they might just have different code to handle it. I guess the item's kind of their own thing too, sort of. Do they? Was I just wrong on that? Ah, okay. Okay. Sure, I thought it was all cool. Nope. So on the lockdown, there's that, and then it adds it back. Wait, why am I putting on this one? Oops. That's not the destroyables. This is. I really think I should have just a thing to run for this, so that I don't have to type these complicated commands into the script command for RM, which is just not very good. Not in comparison to this, where it tells you where the mistakes are, color codes everything for you. All right, so actually, what does this command even do? Once again, I don't even remember my own event commands. I mean, plugin commands. It's terrible. Okay, so oh, that's that one there. Trying to find my code in here that actually has what it is. I combined these two functions in art, so I don't have to deal with having two different things deciding which images are spawned, but it took a lot of effort, and I didn't bother to do it in this, and I should have. But again, this project was supposed to be much shorter, and here we are. It's turning into not that short of a project. Ugh, why? Why indeed? Okay, so I was looking for what the command does, so okay. 5 things there, mini is the last one, and okay. Alright, so apparently build does that? What a complex and ridiculous way to have done this. Well done, me. Alright, well... so this one is actually Dollhouse. Say the name of the image, so it removes it. Yep, and this is just this. And this, I do not remember exactly why it comes out like this, but that's okay. And then for event 5, start for page, I think page 5 at this point. It's the same command, but true at the end. Okay. I feel as though I made this very complicated back in the day for reasons that I do not understand. First, I just want to make it work, and then I'll make a better version of it later. Pretty much famous last words on that one. Spent like an extra week making the better version when it could have just been done. Sounds about like how I do things. This code works. Let me make it work better. Yeah, that's it. Just have to remember that I can use it for art. So it's fine. I can totally use it for that. Ah, oof. I think I have this code already somewhere anyway. Okay. So when it gets named the way I wrote it in there, it gets named as box_1. Somewhere in the code I assemble these two into that. I don't remember where. I have an idea though. But it's not an idea I'm willing to go look at because I don't really care quite that much. And there's a safe. And then we take this one here and put that here. I think this should entirely fix the problem. This is a lot of extra code just to make it remove itself a picture from the minimap when the status menu is active, but unfortunately, my plugin command has pretty complex codes for my visual plugin. So I made a plugin to give it commands, and that too now kind of has complicated codes. I don't really think I saved a lot of time on that one. No, probably not. It's probably a bad plan in hindsight. Okay, it does the little light up thingy. But it's more like a blinking light type of setup. It needs to go be ghostly. It has to kind of do both. Go to loop around essentially. Get really opaque and then less opaque. Still, let's find a destroyable so I can see if it removes it from the map. Come on. There's one. Boom, gone. Perfect. Doesn't really bring itself back, though. That is... like, the box is still there, but the image is gone. Huh, let me find one of these. Okay, here's a dollhouse. Okay, so it destroys stuff, but doesn't re-add its image. Let me double check this here. Let's see. So while lockdown is on, it removes these. Okay, so that goes on, but then it's going to keep running this. It should only run it once. If memory serves, I actually had a... yeah, I had this, so lockdown plus C. Well, first of all, let's copy this event page. This prevented it from running the lockdown command over and over and over. It's probably not the best way to do it, but at 5:09 a.m., it's the way it's currently getting done. Yeah. Okay, so I guess, do these even work? I guess I need to test that. I need to test if the items actually work, because I might be copying code that doesn't even work in the first place. It was an old system that I originally was just going to take the menu out of Pop Request because it's going to be all simple. But here we are, making it less simple, which seems to be pretty much what I do. Well, I'm pretty certain those work with the menu already, but let's double check. They don't. Oh, I see. Well, that's good to know. You kill off one of these things here so I can look at their stuff. You kill it off while not standing next to it so it doesn't completely... or not. Okay, maybe they're a little stronger than they need to be. Fair enough. Wasn't paying much attention to that. That's okay. I'm gonna go to... actually, this one will work just fine too. There they are. The heart doesn't work, but the hourglass does. All right, what's the hourglass do different that the heart does not? I feel like I should change the music. It's been going through this list for so long at this point, and I'm sure I've been through, I don't know, the few hours I put on there. Let's see here. All right. A lot of these Dark Fantasy Studio things actually sound really similar to each other, I'm discovering. Like, I might have got scammed by that Humble Bundle. It's like, oh, yeah, no one's going to check all these tracks, so, we're just going to put, like, 4 or 5 unique albums, and then the other 12 are just going to be remixes, or basically the same albums, yes. No one will know, nobody checks, and to be fair, it has been over a year since I have actually bothered to even look after buying them, so they got me, okay, they win. So why does this one work, but the other two don't even work? I thought they were just straight up copies. I mean, I guess technically this one's actually missing that command. It doesn't run it at all. It's the only one that doesn't. That makes me wonder if I did something stupid. I get to use this new skip command. This has got to be the most cool thing they've actually added to MZ the whole time. I use this all the time, and then I forget I've used it, and I just go back and why is this code not working? And I notice the skip command has been added to it. Hey, but user error, it's not their fault. I just, don't check. Probably should. I'm gonna need to sit there and rebalance the dolls over there. They fire their projectiles so fast. There's been zero balancing. I just gave them a neat little pentagram projectile and said, I'm good. One night, that's it. Yep. Alright, there's a dollhouse. The dollhouse does not remove itself from the thing, which is what I want. And yet, it does remove itself from there. Okay, so the problem is that I was telling it to destroy its own image when I don't want to destroy the image that's on the ground. I mean, actually on the regular map, just the one on the mini-map. So that actually makes this way easier. I was making it harder for no reason. Or making it harder to make it not work at all. Also, I'm going to copy this event page because having it not rerun the same code over and over for every single image on the screen is probably a good idea. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not going to ruin anything, but just for optimization purposes. It's such a fix of destroyables. I think that was everything, actually. I haven't gone through every one of these. That's true. Or should I do this thing? All right. Double check that real quick to make certain it's not broken, because it's not broken the stream twice today so far. Some of it says I have an excellent connection, so the other time was just an error with the NVIDIA codec, and the previous time before that was I just had set it to private and then ended the stream instead of trying to adjust it to public, which should have just been what I did. I don't know why. I don't really know YouTube's back end very well yet. Perfect. I do kind of hate the little location thingy. It needs a better animation, I think. But still, overall, it's working much better than it was. It looks like it's made for this game and not just ripped straight out of art. Of course, from the X, I need to also go based on the location where it's going to end up at. Yeah. I like the 2D area so much I almost wanted to make a 2D game, but the problem is without jumping, you basically just have, what, flying? Or a point-and-click adventure. But I could do a 2D point-and-click adventure in RM. It'd look pretty good. Or even a 2D horror game. That'd be kind of interesting, too. Like, you know, this method here, like this entire look, but just do horror. And the best part is when you render the images in DAZ, it comes out looking way better than when you port the model over to Unreal. Unreal just kind of is not always the friendliest to DAZ's assets. Stuff ends up looking a little off or just outright breaking all the time. Which is why I changed the character's outfit in that, because the previous outfit would just fall to pieces in Unreal. It's amazing exploding outfit. It's very weird. But the outfits in that are a lot like, or just all the assets in that are a lot like plugins, and that random people made them, and you never know what the random person did when they were making it. So sometimes the quality's a little lacking. So I was gonna adjust the animation on this. One of the few things I regret is you can't see the animations in action on this. You have to actually be in the game, but listen, I can't have everything that UE has. You can just see the animations playing in UE. Here, not so much. There's got to be a command off of opacity here that lets you just loop it completely. Oh, back and forth. That's so perfect. It's literally just one thing just done. I think I might make the opacity way less. Well, start opacity way less and just have it kind of bounce between the two. I gotta remember, because I'm editing in that, I can actually just leave the game open and it'll just change in real time. Well, it looks better than just going one way, I guess. Almost want to put like a shape behind it or something. Is that what I'm doing? I mean, is it really? If I wasn't so dead set on using a particle here. Oh, this character. Now, the character actually moves in the picture and following the thing. I mean, I guess technically she shouldn't, because you could talk to her. A cool save system. Yeah, like if you're not using Vishu Stella's save system, you should use it, because, I mean, I came up with these. These are so much cooler looking than the basic stuff for RPGMaker. I'm literally using their core plugin just for it. But anyway, Oh. Yeah, I should probably lock that down. I shouldn't let him save in the menu, ironically enough. But I do like that she's following and watching the players, so I think I'm going to leave that in because it's just kind of cool. Just kind of quirky and weird enough to be something that I actually like. So make a new one of these here. Your status menu is off. But I'll leave the follow players X there. And then I have one other character who talks on here. I may have her watch the player too. Yeah, I don't know if I want to deal with having to redo the entire status menu if the player saves, because it's basically bouncing to the RPGMaker's menu system, and that's very destructive. It just basically wipes everything out and then redraws everything afterwards. But my plugins don't always gel so well with their stuff. All right, so we go here, and yep, she just hovers and watches. Kind of like a little Sith Lord or something like that. It's very Star Wars. Yes, puppet, come to the dark side. Yes, do it. Oh, look, the world's splitting. The dark side is already kicking in, apparently. I'm not quite sure why that happens. You tell an image to display at a certain area, but every once in a while, there's a little slight break between them. I don't know what's causing it yet. Must be something I'm doing weird. Look how bigger. Oh no. The world is splitting even more. And this character does that. You can't talk to her. I didn't even check to see if you talk to the other character. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Yep, just go around and do. It doesn't quite do the loop around her, so I guess it's not visually correct. But I don't care. I like watching her hover and kind of move back and forth, so good enough for me. Go over near where there's another break between the things there and see if this causes that. It does not. It's not been a bad night. I really get the feeling I'm going to have to just display images at the right locations in order to do this and not drop events on things. And then just write common events for each one of the things. A trigger if the player's within range. Yeah. I guess the other option is to deploy a master event. And that event can sit there and watch all the stuff too. And if the player is within a certain range of a spot, it can do that without using a common event. I don't really think that's necessarily better. I'm not sure if that even gains me, honestly. But just from a visual standpoint, the whole deploying events is not how you want to do it, since they'll keep moving. Just little tiny fractions all over the place, so it'll just look a little bit weirder. Interesting, the actual event shifted a little bit to the side there. The crystal ball did. I'm actually fine with that glitch because it just means the world's a little quirkier and weirder, even though it's clearly a glitch. Yeah. I think I'm just going to leave those blank for the moment there because I still don't know actually what I'm going to want there, and I probably need to design all the abilities first. I mean, I guess I could make a thing where it's for each of the buttons, and you click on it, or you go up to it and talk to it, and then tell it which ability you want on each slot. It's gonna be a little janker than than Diablo, where you can just, I think, click the number you want without having to do the extra menu thing. But I'm not even sure how I'd go about setting up the keyboard thing. I would have to write a whole plugin. I don't think I want to do that. That seems like an extra step too far. At least for this project. Unless the project does really well for some reason, in which case, then it's not a step too far. The improved versions will have that, but yeah, I guess I can make a random event that does that. Yeah, okay. All right, now I'm asking myself the question of just how dead set I am on having the player be a particle cursor, because otherwise I already have a lot of that programmed into HUDmaker. But nah, it looks cooler that way. I gotta go with the looks cooler. So in the case of these, so one's just a background. Spell animation is not necessary. So it just comes down to picture and the text of that. So it's just whatever the picture is. So custom code there. Okay. Do I want to copy the code off of this or not? Not really. That's true. Just don't really care that much. Guess it has a jump to, so I don't really want this stuff jumping. Well, if I use events, I can spawn particles at them, so it can show the player is interacting with them. Alright. So is that what I want to do? I think I use this thing here, and I'm just going to set the canvas to map X there, because it's already kind of set up, and I just need a prototype. So we'll do this here. So we'll do ability 1. All right, then we're in the. So I'm not going to use message add. Also, this doesn't need to jump. That's some weird garbage. Yeah, I did something where it jumped and it did particles and stuff, but I think I can just do the particles on it. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't want this jumping thing here. Don't do status menu setup. Means I don't need that. What in the world is 93? Oh, it's a screen ripple. Yeah, I don't need that either. That seems a little ridiculous. For every time you touch a random thing in the menu. Like some sort of game of operation or something. You're like, don't touch the sides. Don't touch the menu items. Make the screen go. Okay. I hate using my image command manually, but I guess I'm going to. Let's see, let's grab that information over here. Let's grab it out of the status menu. I feel as though I have written the plugin to be too difficult to use. Okay, so I don't need this jump thing here. It's not event ID, so we want to strap it to the event. Fine with it being at 290. I don't want status menu. I think I'm going to use. Bring up my pop request thing here. Probably just the same image, but they need to be smaller too, so. So I'm just using the same mini-map image for everything, but I'm just shrinking it down. But I almost need a smaller version intentionally just for this menu. I'm pretty sure my image plugin has a scale option. I don't remember what it does offhand, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to cheat my way to victory here by making a smaller version temporarily. How big are these? %? All right, 25% it is. Huh. This one's a little on the creepy side. That could be good. For Poppy Quest. Dark Fantasy Studios Fear. Ability background. Alright. I don't need that anymore. I don't need this canvas to map anything, I don't think. Because these aren't really spawning anywhere that's like that, so it doesn't really matter. So this could just go bye-bye. Let's get the remove code. Script here. I'll just get the code from there. Too lazy to type anything. Oh, let's go ahead and accidentally put the wrong key there. Yep. Type if I don't gotta. Copy paste everything. Saves so much time. Alright, so I already have this spawning in a location. So I'll just re-put the spawn back on so that it shows up. It was this one. Oh, well, that's already figuring for status menu, so perfect. Ugh, about 22 minutes, I'm gonna head off to sleep. It's like 5:38 a.m. here. Sleep is for the weak, though. I'm game dev. I guess I don't have to be up tomorrow. There's some things I could do, but I don't have to do any of it. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to change the event that's spawning. So the event that's spawning is 201. I swear 90% of this game is all about calculating distance and really just showing a graphic there. That's pretty much it. Just a... Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Of course, it's behind her, but I can fix that. She should be in the background anyway. So she's on 291. Let's just put her on like 270 or something. That's way behind everything. Okay. I'm going to copy this one here and do a new one for our abilities. Because I may want to make use of that menu thinking they're already in the right location, so I don't really want to have to find all that again. Okay, I kind of want the particle to show up too, so I kind of deleted a few extra things I didn't need to. Okay, so let's do that distance there, and then oh. Do that there. The status menu turns off during this or this. And remove all that extra crap. Actually, oops. Actually, I have right here. I need the particle to spawn. Both these commands are half right. Okay, Time to steal from my portals. Okay, and if there are 3 or more that'll turn Celsius out there, don't do that, but instead just remove this. So it's just particle despawn. So this way it doesn't continuously make a million of the emitters and the like it'll actually just jump over to the other one. Then I'll set up a thing for an OK ability in a second, but for now, I'll probably also make a generic group of common events that kind of handle all of them, so I don't have to do the code more than once. But I just need a trial event first. See exactly what I'm handling here, what I'm dealing with, and then I can streamline it. Ooh, what's weird here? It's calling the name of a particle that doesn't exist is what's happening. Okay, which particle do I want to use then? I could light it on fire. That's kind of fun. Who doesn't like lighting things on fire? I'll probably come up with something different later, but eh. Okay. I'll probably make a mini particle for this later. Okay, well, the particle needs to be behind it, but I appreciate that it's on fire. Because who doesn't like stuff that's on fire? It's just great. And you can keep lighting it on fire as much as you want until you get bored. Sounds great. I'm totally down to do this. So that's on 2. I said just 289 would have been fine. But it's also down a little bit. Like, it needs to be raised up a tiny fraction. I guess I didn't raise it up at any point there. Do I have more I have than that? I'm sure I do. Okay, maybe not. I know I have that code somewhere. I'm going to manually look it up again, aren't I? How unfortunate. There we go, here's one of them. I go very far out of my way to not have to type code. I think mine is 24. I just need to raise its Y up a little bit so it looks a little better. All right. Yeah, perfect. See, fire, not fire. Perfect. Hmm. So I move over to the side a bit here, and then I kind of want to be functional first. But whatever, I'll just make a bunch of ones there so I can line them all up and make it look neat and bounce between all the icons that are on fire. So I can get their positioning right, even though I'm not... Well, I guess I can get their code figured out too. Say it's already almost 6 a.m. here, so... I don't want to be up literally to the point where I don't even... Or I just sleep through the whole day. I guess I could, but... I really don't have to do anything tomorrow. Okay, so just mark them all as those. And we're going to use you to position them here. I feel like I should write some sort of an array that just literally positions them and adds like it adds a certain amount to each of the things there, so I can equally space them without having to type in individual code. But I'm not probably going to do that right now. I'm thinking about it. So 202. Let's see. 203, 204, 206, 208, 209. So 203, 4, 206, 208, and 209. Okay. I think I'm going to move all these over. Let x equal... I guess if I want to line these up, do like 550. All right. So now these all go. These ones will go to x. Well, actually, am I lining up along the y or am I lining up along the x? Probably along the y, right? So. Huh. Yeah, it's probably along the y. Yeah, do like 4 of them along the y and then move them all down in x and or move them down a certain amount on the y and do those two. So yeah, okay. Make it y, make it easy to figure out. That makes a lot more sense to me than the other way. And then let y2 equal... how about 700? We'll make it nice and simple there. Not enough to type the numbers so many times over every time I make a change, because I guarantee you I'm going to be making a lot of changes to their locations. And then the first x... Actually, I'm probably going to want this to be farther down already. I'm glad I did this. I can just move it down by doing that, and all those moved. I kind of want the first x to be farther over, so maybe make it 500. Then make the next x. Let x equal 500. 500. And then let's XD equal 100. All right. It's X right there. And then plus X, just about right there. And then this will be X plus XD. This does not seem any particularly more efficient, but I guess I can... This is like the worst way to write this code. Just thought I'd tell you this. There's actually a better way you can do it with loops. But I don't care that much right now. I'll rewrite it with a loop later. What this is really going to be is... a down and dirty, get it done method. Or I only have to make minor changes because I anticipate making a lot of changes. I don't know what this one's problem is, why it's got an error, and I don't care. Perfect. And then now it's playing. All right, so got my status menu going here. Oh, I'm definitely gonna kick off in like 5 minutes or something. This is getting late, but I'm gonna light these things on fire before I go. Okay, that's unusual. Y3 is not defined. Where do I write Y3 again? Oh wait, never mind, status menu. Alright, so I'm gonna kick off whenever I'm done with this. That's what I'm really doing here. Find me Y3. Ah, okay. My down and dirty code has failed me. Oh no. It's actually been like the longest stream I've done. If you factor in all the time that I was secretly not streaming without knowing it. Perfect. I mean, they're too close, but perfect. All right, so this one here can be much lower. We'll make these close to like 900, I guess. And then I think I'm moving X over. Oops. Oh. What in the world is causing that? They almost seem to be closer. It seems acceptable to me, though. Alright, well, I'm going to call this for tonight. Now that I have a thing where I can easily space them, you see why I wrote the code like that, so I can just literally cheese my, constant reassigning there. Anyway, I'm good for the night. This imaginary villain signing off. If for some reason you wish to continue watching me work on this, I'm going to be here pretty much every single weekday, Monday through Friday, from 1 a.m. till probably about 4 a.m., or in this case, almost 6 a.m. because I just got really excited and kept working on it. Anyway, have a wonderful night, and I will catch everyone who's watching the next time. See ya.